can come together, they can bypass all the middlemen in the vertically integrated global corporations of the 20th century and produce and share information, energy, and goods and services at a lower cost towards zero. It makes it actually more competitive than the current system, but that competition means it's not for profit. So people say to me, well, how would you ever have incentive to operate an economic system if it wasn't based on profit? Wake-up call. We're doing it already. Cooperatives. Billions of people are in cooperatives, and they don't talk about it in the economics profession. We have farm cooperatives providing a lot of our food. We have housing cooperatives providing much of our housing around the world. We have banking cooperatives that are bigger than commercial banks in many countries. We have all of these cooperatives. Billions of people are involved with them, and we seem to make a very prosperous economy, but it doesn't require profit. The new electricity in Germany, well over half of it is being produced by consumer and producer cooperatives beyond the market. So what we're beginning to see here is the emergence of this collaborative commons atop an emerging Internet of Things platform, where millions and hundreds of millions of people are beginning to produce and share on a distributed collaborative technology infrastructure much of their life. It's not just that we are sharing information and entertainment and green renewable energy and 3D printed products. We have a whole younger generation, some of you in the room, you're sharing everything else. You're sharing cars, a lot of it with nonprofit car sharing services. There are millions of young people now, in less than 5 years, they don't want to own a car, they just want access to mobility, and they want to be sustainable. For every car that's shared, we take 15 automobiles off the road. So there's 1 billion vehicles on the road now, do the math. It was done by the former GM Vice President Larry Burns last year. He looked at Ann Arbor, Michigan. He said you can reduce the number of cars in Ann Arbor by 80% and have the same mobility if you connect them up to this Internet of Things with smart cards, etc. Well, 1 billion vehicles, take 80% out, and this is a big leap forward for the new economy and a big plunge for the old economy, and we will address climate change by radically reducing emissions. And you know how we do it? By extreme productivity. The new way to measure sustainability is extreme productivity. Everyone says, how do you measure sustainability? Well, we can measure ecological footprint, but how do you actually measure it in economic terms? Let me introduce this to you first time tonight. Zero marginal cost is the most sustainable state because it allows us to produce goods and services with the minimum input of energy, labor, time, and capital, and optimize the output. So when you talk about the most sustainable economy in the world, it's one that heads to near zero marginal cost. That's extreme sustainability, extreme productivity. So if my colleagues in the economics profession want to argue this point, I remind them that they are the ones that have said that marginal cost is the most efficient state. We're just taking it to zero, near zero. So we're not only sharing cars, we're now sharing our apartments and our homes. Airbnb is commercial, but couch surfing is not. And so once your rent is paid and you're paying your mortgage and your property taxes, the fixed costs are there, the marginal cost of letting your apartment or home being used is near marginally zero. 1 million hotel nights were eliminated in New York because people were sharing their apartments on couch surfing and Airbnb. Now, since buildings are a huge factor in CO2 emissions, imagine if we start eliminating some of that space and we share what we have with more people. We're now sharing clothes up on the collaborative common and toys. Apparel has a big, big impact on the environment. And now young people are sharing on ThreadUp and Recycle and other networks so that the apparel has 9 lives. The toys have 9 lives. And kids are growing up to realize a toy is not something you own. It's something you experience for a few days, and then it's sent on to somebody else. That's a complete change in our worldview. We have a generation in this room moving from ownership to access, from markets to networks, from a capitalist system to a collaborative commons. So we're seeing a hybrid economy emerge, part capitalist market, part collaborative commons. Capitalism isn't going to disappear. It is going to move into a sunset stage. It won't disappear. There will still be goods and services with sufficient margin. We will buy them, products and services. However, The companies that survive are going to become niche players, and they'll help aggregate network solutions and services and find value in enhancing the collaborative commons and enhancing the infrastructure. But my suspicion is that by 2050, the collaborative commons will be the dominant economic paradigm all over the world. The capitalist market will be a partner, a junior partner, adding value, but it will not be the exclusive arbiter of the life of you young people and your children and grandchildren, I don't think, by 2050. Last thoughts on this. This is a promising journey. I was on a TV show here today, Hard Talk, and the moderator said, oh, this, this future isn't going to happen. We can't see this. Aren't we a competitive, human race? Everyone's seeking their own gain. No, throughout most of history, we're the most social creature. We organized our economy socially. We worked together. We shared. That's the nature of human nature, to be extremely social. We had a short reign of a couple hundred years during the industrial stage of capitalism, first and second industrial revolution, where we sort of got off that track. We're getting back on the track again. And the irony of it all is it's the technology of the free market and the capitalist system that took us to near zero marginal cost and provided the opening for this new journey in history. So I welcome a hybrid economy, part capitalist market, part collaborative commons. And for all you young people here, make this journey happen. This is a way that we can begin to address climate change, get off carbon-based energies, share more, use less, and create a just and sustainable world, not only for our human species, but for our fellow creatures on this earth. Make this Internet of Things and collaborative commons your journey. Thank you.